Welcome to Shorts Beyond Measure, where fashion, interiors, and psychology get the stylish, savvy, and slightly therapeutic touch.
We're Tara West, Caroline Baltz, and Allison Goldberg, a fashion stylist and 2 interior designers who are also trained as psychotherapists.
So let's get into what's trending, what's tired, and what's actually worth your time. Because good style and good decisions should never be short-lived.
And we're back with the lovely, oh my God, Lacy Garcia. No, because Dave messed up your name, I thought. So then I was like, oh God. Anyways, welcome back, Lacy.
I know. Welcome back. I'm so excited to hear about your beauty routine because you have not aged.
Oh,
at all.
I love you.
Like, you literally look the
you.
same from the day I met you 21 years ago.
I love you for saying that. That's not true, but
It is.
So what's the secret?
What's the secret?
What's the secret sauce?
Yeah.
You know, I think that I'm reading all these things that's saying don't stress, right? No stress. So I can't say that I don't stress, but I will say that I think the keys are as simple as getting lots of sleep, you know, moving your body, drinking lots of, I don't know about you all, but drinking lots and lots of water, right? Mm-hmm. And so I don't know, but I am definitely a daily I'm trying every day, right? I'm trying every day. I'm on the supplements and making sure that I work out, making sure that I sleep, that I take some time to meditate. I'm like really into the infrared sauna now. I have an infrared sauna, and
protein, right? Because that's protein.
Definitely think that it's like that, you know. But making sure that you give yourself grace, right? I think probably the most important thing too is like breathing, right? Like oxygen, water, sleep, breathing, right? And giving yourself grace because we're all so busy and so crazy in this messy middle section of our lives with kids and, you know, maybe parents who are ill and, you know, all the things, right? Yeah. So I think that that's probably the most important thing and is just like taking a moment to breathe and taking a moment to like give yourself a pat on the back. Plus, you know, working out and trying to be healthy and all the supplements.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Can I go talk about breathing for a quick second? Because I totally agree with that. Like the way you breathe can send messages to your central nervous system. Like if your breath is short, like it just affects your whole body. But not to totally digress, but I was sitting at a lacrosse tournament with these 2 lacrosse dads. And they were like, how come when I weigh myself at night, I'm like 3 pounds more than when I weigh myself in the morning?
Sounds like smart guys.
Yeah.
But then we were looking it up online. We omit it's our breath. Mm-hmm. It's literally our breath.
Oh, it's not food?
No.
Oh, guess I'm the dumb one.
It's literally that we breathe that much over that amount of time. So I was like, I'm opening a gym where we just sit there and breathe a lot. Like, oh my God.
Wait, breathing makes you heavier?
Yes.
All right.
Oh my God. Anyway.
So, Lacy, there's a lot of people who listen to this podcast, so many, but who are business women and people who are even men too, who are starting a business or want to start a business, and all of us have done that. And so sometimes I think people think you have to follow a certain path. And so I was just wondering, like, you did talk a little bit about, but did you go to school for finance? Like what, or is it something like you just stumbled upon? Can you take us a little bit there?
Yeah, no, I was a liberal arts undergrad. I do have an MBA, but I was a teacher. I have a master's in education. So I know I certainly, it was life, right? Making my journey was about making lemonade out of lemons, right? And also, you know, getting into finance when I was on the other side. I was more of an English and political science and thought I was bad at math. So I didn't think finance would be for me, but actually being a financial advisor, really, a lot of it is about psychology and people and helping people, right? And all of that. So it turns out that actually it was a great match for me, but I didn't know that, right? I went in I'm going to be a teacher, I'm going to be an educator, I'm going to be a marketer, and there's more similarities to where I ended up. But I think the most important thing, right, especially when you're starting or growing a business, right, is that it's wonderful and exciting, and it's also really hard, right? And I think that the main thing is this was authentic, right, in the sense that I'm a vehicle for the message of the company because I've lived it, right? And I ended up, you know, I started this out of a desire to help other people not to struggle the way and particularly women not to struggle the way that I had. And so it's a passion project for me, right? And that makes it easier to keep going, right, through those moments, through those ups and downs of entrepreneurship. But I think that that's also, if you become an expert in what you know, right? You may have had a 20, and we're going to have 2 or 3 careers at this point in our life, right? We're going to, so you might have been trained and you might be you were a lawyer, but now you're going to be starting an interior design business, right? There's no reason why you can't pivot. There's no reason why you can't do something different. I think we spend so much time working, right? Like, is it something that we know and we love and that we're passionate about, right? And that life experience, once you get, especially a couple of decades out of school like me, right? The life experience really is just as important, if not more so, than that educational background, right?
Yeah, that's so interesting because I have a background in social work. Yeah. And when I had my kids, I was like, oh, I'm going to stay home with them, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, I'm never going to use this again. And then when we pivoted, Caroline and I found each other and we went into interior design. Like, I actually use my degree just as much. I mean, I'm not diagnosing people anymore, but that background information informs every decision we make.
I love what you guys are doing because it's so brilliant, right? Because your space because I know so many people who are like, oh, I went and used a designer and it looks beautiful, but it doesn't feel like me, right? Yeah. Or it doesn't they don't end up liking it. They don't even feel comfortable. What you're doing is so thoughtful because really helping design a space that actually is authentic and relaxing and the right sort of emotional and spiritual experience, right, for a person it's brilliant. Why didn't someone else think of it?
Not as smart as us.
You guys are brilliant. I mean, but it makes all the sense in the world. I mean, it makes all the sense in the world to me. And but those are the things, right? That's how we innovate. That's how we change. That's how we move forward, right? When we bring together the non-traditional paths, right? When you disrupt things, right? I was somebody who came. I was the first person to be like, why are things the way that they are? They shouldn't be like this. Why should I be embarrassed or ashamed or not like my financial advisor? Why shouldn't I be with somebody that I feel comfortable with, right? And it took, I think, the fact that I didn't come from the industry, that I came instead, I was coming in and being like, this doesn't make any sense. Right? Yeah. Everybody else was just accepting it, but I was like, I don't know if this
shake it up a little.
Yeah, like this is, there's got to be a better way. Right.
Well, for me too, because people always ask me, did I go to school for fashion? And I didn't. But it had always been my passion. I just wasn't allowed to go to school for it. It's much being like an actor. Everybody does it. Who makes it? Nobody makes it, But there's so much psychology I always say this, in the way that if you look good, you feel good, right? And so you can really conquer the world when you feel like you look good in what you're wearing. And so there's no reason. And I love that you said that, because it doesn't have to be a traditional path. And I feel like people need to know that. And also, you can start a business at any age. My kids say they hope it doesn't take them as long as me. And it might not. But the truth is if you love what you do and there's a need, right, and it's your passion, you can soar.
100%. I mean, and, we say that, and a lot of times there's emphasis around younger people starting businesses. But I think actually statistically, and I don't have this data at my fingertips, but like the amount of women in their 40s and their 50s and even their 60s who are disrupting and who are creating businesses, especially like things that are selling products online, it's amazing. It's this new creator economy and the access that we have through social media. There's no reason not to do it, and you can become an overnight success, right?
What was the industry's response to you creating Willow and kind of disrupting the status quo? Was it positive, or did you get some pushback? Like, who are you to be the middleman?
Look at you.
Yeah. So when we first set out to do this, people were like, that sounds so nice. That's so lovely. Good luck with that, Lacy. Like, that's really,
a pat on the back.
What a good girl.
Good girl.
And some of the folks that I've talked to be like, who are a little bit more, I've got daughters and I've got a wife. I see this and I get it. And it's like really, but long story short, we partnered pretty early on. We got a strategic, BlackRock became a client of ours, and we got a strategic investment from them.
That's helpful.
And obviously they're the largest financial firm out there and have a lot of influence. And we also focused, with the two sides to our business. One side of it is obviously working directly with the individuals, the consumers, the clients. The other side of it is that we are training. So we're partnering with the industry instead of saying like,
you're screwing up.
We're saying, hey, how can we help you? We're like, listen, if you're a good person and you want to do better, we'll come in and we'll train you. Like, because there's
you're saying let's work together. So
100%.
it's building relationships, which is such a huge part of building a business, right?
Yeah, no, and I mean, the reality is that 70% of financial advisors in the U.S. or more than 70% actually, are men. And, some of them really don't care and are not good with women and just don't care. And there's a lot of them that, like, honestly, they're good guys and they just don't necessarily know how to say the right thing, right? So how do we help them to be more empathetic, to be more understanding, to, like, not just throw a lot of charts at you and, like, make you glass over, but instead ask the right questions and get you to feel comfortable and open up. So that's a premise of what we're doing, is we're really trying to help the industry to evolve. And I think more so people are open and understanding, and now they see the power and the influence of women, and they're losing their clients. And they're like, okay, we got to get on board. We got to pay attention.
So do you pair your women clients only with women, or is it just a mix of
No,
whoever?
we work with both. And I mean, because a lot of women actually, I'd say it's like a 50-50 split, because a lot of women who come to us actually like working with men, right? They feel more comfortable working with a man. And then a lot want to work with women. And honestly, a lot of women want to work with women, and there's not that many women in the industry. So, like, we're trying to help the men to make sure that they're good advisors to women as well.
And just bringing it full circle, because we had a conversation on our previous podcast. Are you guys worried about AI at all?
We're using it. Are you kidding? Nice. I think AI is, so I think that AI can be one of our greatest friends. And we just have to know that we're smarter than it, right? So we have to remember that. We have to leverage it for the first draft of things. We have to leverage it to help make things more efficient. But we always say, like, we're powered by AI, but we're backed by human QA, right? So, and I think that's also what we're doing. And there's a lot of things that you want in terms of your relationship with your advisor or financial firm today. You want things, better technology, more seamless communications, more efficient processes, quicker responses, right? If it's just one person trying to do all the things and manually enter and this and that, but you want the person who's actually, you don't want to get an email that was just spit out that they didn't actually take the time to think about and write properly. You want the phone call, you want the text message from them. So I think that's where we're, like, it's really important to use it to help to scale from an efficiency perspective, but, like, really then allowing you to use the time to personalize more so.
That's
so
well
smart.
said.
Yeah.
You have some exciting news to announce, right?
Oh, I was sharing with Caroline. We're so excited. We just announced actually last week, or the last 2 weeks, that some of you may know Jean Chatzky, who is the financial contributor on the Today Show for years and years, is one of those leading journalists and kind of pioneers and advocate for women's financial empowerment. And she's got HerMoney Media, which is the largest, financial media company and blog and newsletter and all that focused around women. We partnered with her, and now we are sort of, exclusive provider in terms of anybody who's going to her looking to get matched with a financial advisor, or looking to get connected with investment strategy or, one-time financial plan. So it's very exciting. She's amazing and wonderful, and I've had a lot of respect for her throughout the years. And before I knew her, right, just watching her on the Today Show and listening to her over the years, and she's really amazing. So we're super excited about that.
I mean, you are so empowering and motivating. I'm so glad that you came today, because, I think it's just, as women, it's always nice to hear what other women are doing. And you're doing something so important. It's really that important, because like I said, we know a lot of people who don't know. And also, don't be afraid to know. You got to know. My dad's a terrible guy. That's a different story. But the one thing that he told me, the one piece of advice that he told me, and I'll always remember, is he said, always know. No matter what, even if you don't want to know, you have to know what your finances are, always.
Well, knowledge is power, right? Once you know, then no matter how bad it looks or how scary it is, you could do something about it, right? If you bury your head in the sand and you just don't know, then it's good.
You can't do anything.
Right? You can't do anything. You can't make it better, right? So, and it's never as bad as you think it is, right? There's always a way to make it better.
I don't know. I'm going to call you, and we're going to see how bad it is.
How bad she wants that bag.
All right. So tell us again where we can find you.
So trustwillow.com. You come to trustwillow.com, and it's as easy as you click to, like, get started or get matched or whatever. And then you can get connected to a member of our team. And anybody who's local and wants to reach out to me, I'm on social media. I'm on Instagram and I'm on LinkedIn, and you feel free just to reach out to me, or Lacy at LACY@trustwillow.com. You can come directly to me as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, ladies. I'm so excited. I love what you're doing. I'm a huge fan.
We love what you're doing. You are a wealth of information. See what I did there, guys? Dad joke. All right. Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Bye.
Thank you.
That's it for this week's Shortlist. Thanks for listening.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, share it, leave a review, or let us know what's on your short list.
Shorts beyond measure, because the most important things in life can't be quantified.